And even with that, it's funny because you know our main focus, what we focus on, as far as we take those activities and we break them down to the three most important things to work on, are strategy, structure, and sensitivity. Right? It's the things that you have to have down pat when you get into an altercation. Right? Your structure always has to be down pat. Your sensitivity, you need that to go from one level to the next. Right? And your strategy, well, that's always important because in that way. It will. I'm going to turn that. See if I can turn these things on. That's really cool. Who's about toilets? Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, it's been my little trick sometimes just to.
Yeah. I mean, I use Sesame Street much more. Sometimes I have to do some work because somebody hires me. So I use Sesame Street. See how much better you're already rolling on this side? Yeah. Just by doing it. All you got to do is do it. Your body knows how to do a bon sao, a tan sao, a foot sao on both sides. Do you teach the forms?
Yeah, absolutely.
So your forms are already instructed your body properly where to go. And to tell you the truth, your foot sao on this side is better, and your bon sao is better on this side.
Really?
Yes, because you do less. Because on your left, you always do less. Because if you're right-handed, your left is subservient to your right.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't try to boss out. It just does what it needs to do. That's just how it is. You have a dominant hand and you have a servant hand, right? That's if you can't have a dominant without something else paying kowtow to it and backing up. That's what it is. So your right hand does a little bit more extra, right? Because it's used to being the boss. It's like, yeah, I do what I want, right? But we got to control our hands, so we make them do what we want, right? So here you're always open, right? Because your tan sao goes down, your elbow goes into your body. So you're always open here.
Okay.
You've been open here the whole time. And when you do your foot sao, it goes high on this side, so you're open here. Right? So you have two openings that happen every time you roll. And here, you cross the center every time with your foot sao. So it makes this side over the top. It's easy for somebody to do that.
Okay.
It's always easy for somebody to do this. But when you are going to cross, and they tend not to cross, it's easier for them to get in, and you always be behind the scale. Right? How long did you study with me? Because I remember when you came to the rental school and you tested. I remember that, but that was like a long time ago.
Yeah, I trained it was almost 2 years before I tested with you guys.
Yeah.
And I Chi Sao with him once in a while, but not very often. I always figure if I could teach my students to roll and do Chi Sao, that I would break everything down smaller. As I'm teaching them, I have to break it down for them, and it would help make things make sense for me. So I'll tell you something, I'll show you something in a minute. But I just started to figure out, like, I've heard that the first 5 sets on the wooden dummy teach you things that you need to know in Chi Sao. Like the certain types of breaks and things like that are built into that set. So I started breaking it down with my students, really simple, like Chi Sao drills sort of. So like the first one I taught was basically the first thing on the wooden dummy. You know, when you come up grab the dummy by the neck and then, pull in here. Yeah, locks out here. I was teaching them that and then teaching them how to counter that. So like when I go up, I was teaching them to do a chum sao to block the reach in. Then I started teaching them this one, and granted I'm doing this with them, so I'm like, I find a partner and we try to interpret, the part where you're doing the bong woo on the dummy and you come in and do this. We kind of figured out that if you shift and come into the elbow and then strike here, so that's pretty much where I'm at so far in teaching. It's just those 2 breaks, those basic. We just kind of keep doing those over and over again.
So like here, it's here, just like that. Like you did. That's exactly how you did. What that is. You go for the elbow, come around, strike here, perfect. Because you're jetsun ma to sampak ma. That's the footwork, right?
Right.
On the first one, this is kind of cool here, but a lot of times you have a dominant hand on top. So you can also come with the tan sao this way and do it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So then now you're not fighting this foot sao, right?
Right.
You use your tan sao to rotate to take it this way, redirect it that way, and then come in this way. And then you do that. And when you do this, you can do this, right? You can also switch on this side. So you can come here and then come here and do it this way to that way. So when you see me do this move and then that move, that's from that first break. That's that. So it's this, and you can also do it this way, and it's a smack. Bow.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
a good way to practice that is do the tonsal, come under with the tonsal, and come all the way across to my neck.
So, okay.
Your foot's out to a tonsal.
Hooks out to a tonsal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Like,
So.
oh yeah, I see.
No. So like this. That's the tonsal. Right. It's the same. It's like what you're doing here, right? But you're doing it in front of the hand. So you come here, that way, and then pull down that way. So your elbow comes in. You're checking the elbow like this, right? You can do that instead of checking the elbow.
Let's see how I can. Actually, I can see how you do it. For some reason, it's just like like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Okay.
So that way you can do it with the elbow down, stronger.
Oh. Now it's the wrong way. This way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So go straight. So as soon as you come here, boom, this way, like that, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good way to do it. So you're not forcing your way in this way, right? Because if I do this and your foot's out, if your foot's out is good in the center and I do that, then I end up getting hit with a good chump style, right? That's like you say, the chump style is a good stop on that.
Yeah.
Right. It's easy because it's right there, right? So I come here, chump style, boom, I get taken out. This hand's even out of the play, right?
Right.
So if I do it this way, I can combat that. You have to deal with this arm. I have this hand too. You see? So I make you have to mess with this side so I can come to that
It's total
side.
strategy too, because
Yeah.
I mean, because then you're not setting yourself up at all, really. Because if
Yeah,
you're right,
exactly.
you know, like, oh,
and you can always do that.
yeah, I can
see
do that as an alternate, not as a
exactly.
way
You
to
can
go.
always do that. You can always do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's a cool option because you have options.
Nice.
Tonsile comes through, then you pock and then finish the hand through. So
So we got trapped.
you chose the outside. I went to the inside. Good. Good. From here, strike this way. See that?
Yeah.
I got your chin. Drag this way. It gets you face plant. I can go for your arms or hit the head.
All right.
So I wait to get your structure. So I can pull your structure, but then you pull back. Now I'm fighting. If I wait to get your structure, now I can use your structure. You see?
Yeah. That's one thing that I haven't had a lot of experience with, is actually getting in and doing some of the stuff that you do on me, like when you come in and take me down. Yeah.
We're working that a lot.
I was watching that a lot on the YouTube videos. You guys are doing a lot of stuff like that.
From here, you're tapped. You see? Yeah. And the tighter I get it. See that?
Yeah.
And now you press down this way.
Oh boy! Oh man!
That's it.
Woo!
You see?
Yeah.
You press down. Done.
Yeah. You guys got the joint locks and stuff, man. Some crazy stuff. It's good.
We do that to be able to take somebody so we can go to the beat mode. We don't do it to choke you out. We get you there and then it's forearms and elbows to the face because we don't want to wrestle.
Right.
Right? Because somebody always has a friend or there's always some dude that might think you're beating this guy up now. That was attacking you. And all of a sudden you got him like this, you're like, hey man, get off him. You know what I'm saying? So it's get up, get done quick. The quicker you get done with your altercation, the less witnesses, the less trouble. Right? Even especially in the club. Because in the club, people take advantage. I see dudes fighting clubs and get stumped out by everybody around them that wasn't even in the fight. Oh yeah, get him. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. It's ridiculous. It's the mob nature people have. It's easy to start a riot. You get a group of people, one person breaks something, somebody else like, yeah, I want to do that too. And then it's a riot. It's easy. This is good. I haven't been here for Chi Sao in a long time. My students aren't at the level where I learned Chi Sao yet. One of them, actually two of them is, but one hasn't been here for a while.
It's good for me because I have a Chi Sao with my uncle, and he's probably about the same level I'm at. As a kid, I always thought, man, I gotta beat this guy.
Yeah, you told me. You said so. Yeah.
But now we're like, okay, I can hit him. You know, and I can hit Wii. So I need people that I can't hit or that has more, you know.
It's not about the hits.
Yeah.
Chi Sao is not really about hitting. It's about dealing with the problem and trying to find a solution.
Okay.
So when you get hit, it's trying to find out, okay, wait,
How did I get
what could I have done in that moment? Not so much like how can I not ever get hit? No, when I roll, I get hit.
Yeah.
You see how you get hit? You know, you hit me. There's hits.
Yeah.
It's how you can take a hit and turn it into a better situation for yourself, because you're going to get hit. In the situation of fighting, you're going to get hit.
Right.
You can't be like, oh man, wait, can we start over? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get hit, you got to like go for the next. It's like, okay, now I have it. Like the time when you came all the way in and I was able to come all the way back. It's knowing that, okay, the hit, that's a good strike. How do I use it to get in?
Yeah.
You see? Because when somebody that's really good, that might be better than you, that will be their weakness right there. It's like, oh, he can keep hitting me, so when he comes, I'm just going to use that. Boom, and get to the next thing. Is he ready for that? Right?
You know,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, is he ready for that? You
Yeah.
know, now that I know he can get in. Okay, I know where he's gonna be at. He's aiming at my chest. He's aiming at my head. Okay, slide that and get in. You gotta use every opportunity you can to get in. Deeper, deeper. Then you can start working on the neck and how to control it, how to control the head, how to control the body when you go for takedowns. Right? Not just this kind of takedown. These type of takedowns that lead to this. Right?
Yeah.
How to like really like beat a man down before you go in there and take him all the way out. Right? You can work on that if you get good at getting in. So from this distance, getting good at not just hitting,
Right.
but being able to trap and get in. Right? That's the best. Trapping is the best thing you should get from Chi Sao. You should get trapping. Everything else you can learn without Chi Sao. How to punch, how to block, how to kick. You can learn that outside of Chi Sao. But trapping, that's where Chi Sao comes in. I think that's my wife.
All right.
Hello? Yeah, I'm down here at the bottom. The light comes down here. Will you open the door back here? Okay. We're looking at each other on our phone. Yeah. My wife needs to open the back door.
Oh, okay. How you doing, Ollie Banham?
I was leaving light in the house. I'm down here at Chi Sao with somebody. I'll call you back though, okay? Good.
You got buckshot in there?
It's the white airsoft pellets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, these hits hurt. It's good to punch. My students like punching that.
Yeah.
And this is rock. It's peat rock. But this is sand. White soft pellets. Rock. Peat rock. This has the same stuff in it, but this is those like everything Wing Chun designer bags. Which they're great. I like to use the other ones because they actually tell me when I'm hitting.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
They got the same substance in them, but you can't feel it over here. It all feels the same except for the rocks. I got to put glass in there to actually feel something. So that's why they're alright, but they're designers. So I can't teach my students how to punch right unless I have my canvas. That's why I have them both up, right? Because I teach them on the canvas first. Then I'm like, okay, now that you know how to punch, you can punch that. It's still just like punching. You don't have to hurt yourself when you punch. I just want you to know when you're punching right, and when you get past bleeding all the time, you learn how to punch, and you're not scraping your knuckles, then go ahead punch in the leather, and you're all good. Now you can still work on your hits and your softness and relaxation when you punch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. I have my students, I have a wall bag, it's full of rice.
Yeah, I start with rice.
Yeah.
I usually start with rice and then go to split peas and then mung beans. And then if I go harder, then I'll do something like buckshot or BBs, right? That's good. That's good. That's a good hard substance. And then rock. I do rock low though, for hitting people in the gut, right? You're always hitting somebody that's buff. You know, you're like, I hit him and it was hard.
Yeah.
If you hit rock,
yeah,
it ain't gonna be harder than rock.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's gonna make your, instead of your punch down here always being soft and checked, you'll have a solid punch, right? Because you used to hitting something hard, and when you hit hard, you have to have a solid fist. You can't be like on that. It hurts.
Okay.
So, always training for the reality of what's gonna happen, not just the idea. Hands and your feet together. Don't get used to moving your feet without your hands. Nobody's gonna let you just walk around while you're touching them. Right? Use your feet and hands together. Right? Here. When you're getting closer, you use your feet and hands together. Right? And you come behind. Easy. This way, right? You see? Yep. So you can control the body once you get it down, versus just it falls and you're like, oh, let me catch up. Too many ground fighters nowadays, you can't afford to not take them down and have some control. That's all that. That's my son. He's doing his flash dance thing, I think. I can't tell. He likes to stomp and jump.
I wanted to see what you would do if I stepped. Just kind of see if you would step back or if you maintained your
So
position.
what I did is, instead of just stepping back, I stepped at an angle. I allowed you in, but where I could actually attack you. If I step back when you step forward, right? I'm in the same spot.
Yeah.
Right. It's all the same. It's the same, and I just keep doing that. It's the same, and then you get more like, oh, I can just chase this dude back to the wall. I'm gonna throw him.
Yeah.
Right. So and it's harder to go back, even though we have a good way to go back. It's harder to go back than go forward. So instead of going back, I decide to go here, so I can attack. Right. You end up here, right? And I end up with a good jam, a trap. I can come all the way to the neck, the head. Right. There's a lot of things you can do from there. So. That's the Sankwakma backwards, right? That's this. It gives me a better angle, but it also allows you to come to me. Yeah, so I'm going backwards. Boom.
Okay.
Right?
Wow.
You gotta work your left hand too. You see? That's my left versus your two right and left. And then versus just your right. You gotta work both hands. A good way to work that hand is to force it. Right? You're rolling just hand here, here, while they're rolling with two hands. One. Now, I don't know if you do our shifting first form.
Yeah, I do that.
If you train the shifting first form, it should already have informed you of this type of movement. Your hand is never leaving your center, even when I'm trying to parry your attack, right? I'm here, I can't afford to do this with one hand,
Right.
because that hand's coming, right? So instead, I do this. I keep you here. So you see, I move my body and block.
Maintain it.
Yeah,
Instead of
and I'm always target facing, right? Here, here, because I can't, even going in, I can't afford to do this. I'll get popped easy.
Let's try that. Let's try some more of that. This time I got my left hand out.
Okay.
Yeah. This one? Oh, you want? You like that one?
All right. Got your right hand.